You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning.
Gonna do something else. Start it over. Grand Rising. Shout out to y'all. I'm just the messenger. Y'all are the stars, so give yourself a round of applause, a pat on the back, you know. Good vibrations, sensations. Yes, man, we're here to talk about the full moon, super moon, lunar eclipse. Those are a lot of things, a lot of separate things, but we're going to put it all together. Of course, we're going to be dealing with some sidereal astrology, and I pride myself on putting the real in sidereal astrology, making it simple, making it plain. I'm actually feeling great this morning, this rising. Hopefully you in the same vibration. I was going to title this like a full moon video and all of that, but I think I've progressed beyond that. I don't really care if people tune in and tap in specifically for sidereal astrology or any type of astrology. You know, I'm just here to really channel, you know, just be a vessel for spirit and bring knowledge. Of course, I have the framework and I have the layout, but I'm just hoping that spirit uses me as an instrument to, you know, create some beautiful music in your eardrums as you just experience the spiritual. Over this weekend, I did a lot of spiritual work that I'll be sharing with you guys later this week. But I'm like working on a presentation with the mounds and really just was in my mystical bag. You know, I had the mystics with me, Mama Mystics and the little mystics, and we just went all over the planet, i.e. Ohio, just mounding, man, and giving offerings and giving thanks, and just such a wonderful experience, you know. But the presentation and everything that comes forth from it, this is what I'm trying to express, you know, doing all of this magic and going out into nature and all up in your spirit bag. Like, what is it for? Once again, who are you, right? Who are you ultimately? Not what your mama named you, but what is your energy? How do you explain your energy? And I think that this full moon energy, it really helps us explain fully who we are as an energetic species, right? Like, you know, we think of ourselves as humans, as gender, as races, and all of these particular things. But when you really get to the alchemy of it all, this full moon is showing me exactly who I am, and hopefully it's doing the same for you, your partners and loved ones, because there's a lot of things that I'm going to talk about within this build. But let's be clear. Let's put this shit out all on the table. Peace to everybody. And I appreciate you all, you know. It's not for clout, it's not for glamour, but at the same time, this is my life, and so many people come and support that I couldn't, like, I want to just start this video off with just saying thank you to all of the people that support me in the space of me not clocking in doing 9-to-5 shit, you know. And I got 4 children, so I get a lot of support and you wouldn't necessarily know from the YouTube views or nothing like that, or Instagram likes or not, but you know, whether it's our store, whether it's the Patreon, you know, people really support, and that means a lot to me, and I could never be more grateful for that, you know. But beyond that, I would never act like, you know, I'm struggling or it's fucked up for me, you know, because that's not the case. But I can understand how it could be fucked up for you, especially in this spiritual game. And what I want to say before I get into this is that everything spiritual is not good. You can't equate everything spiritual to good. Even if they got positive intentions, they're beautiful, they got positive words, you know. There are such spirits out here that aren't good in the concept of positive or bringing you to your best self. But even the bad spirits is for your good, because it all should lead you to your soul, right? So maybe you see a negative spirit in your life or in your being. Don't chastise it. Don't belittle it, because you then would have to ask yourself, why is people, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, like, people be paying other people to do spells on people, right? And I'm gonna be real with y'all, that shit be working. That shit is real, right? Now, if you are one of the people who either do it or have it done to you, well, first, if it's done unto you, like somebody is paying a top level spiritualist to do work on you, it can go two ways. It don't have to affect you. You can realize it and send it back. This is what we call reversals. So for me, it was a lot of hyssop work. Like hyssop work, hyssop tea, burning hyssop to reverse. Not to say that it was bad energy. I just do spiritual maintenance. Like I'm gonna burn hyssop in reference to just like a waning moon, right? Use spiritual prevention, spiritual maintenance. I wouldn't never be like, oh, it's fucked up, let me do some work. No, I do work when things are doing great. So just basically just doing spiritual patrol, the hyssop stuff, you know, I locked into somebody doing some work, and there was a lot of different confirmations on that work. And then the next part was sending that work back, because generally when somebody sends work towards you, you can accept it or you can deny it. So how do you accept when people are doing work on you energetically? By feeling bad, cursing out your partner. Listen, when you're in a relationship, that shit is effort towards bliss, right? But sometimes we get into relationships and we might curse our partner and not like them and blame them and do stuff, and we don't even realize that it's work being done on our union, right? So this is all Scorpio energy, right? This is alchemy, this is separation, this is sex, right? This is magic, this is sorcery. These are all of these things, and this full moon allows you to see who's all doing the work, right? Now, people are not gonna say this because they don't know this, right? Because the thing about what I've learned, like going back to Ohio after not living in Ohio for some time, is that I was more concentrated on my spiritual work. So when I was concentrated on my spiritual work, I was able to see things that I wouldn't normally see, because when I lived in Ohio, I was more concentrated on my living, meaning like work, money, things like that, right? But outside of that, just going and doing investigations with the drone and taking pictures and stuff like that. If you see me on Instagram, you've seen I was like posting videos of the drone, and I was doing research. I was being mystical. You feel me? With that being said, I wasn't able to do that when I lived there. So alchemy thus is pulling you from something and then bringing you back to it so you can see it with a better light. Now, this is a natural process. What's the problem with alchemy? Alchemy, when it's done without knowledge, it feels like torture. It feels like pain. It feels like, you know, bullshit. So once again, thank you all for purchasing Chakra Nova. The books will be sent out today or tomorrow. For everybody who ordered that second run, I said that I'll ship on May 23rd. Well, it's May 24th. And May 23rd is a Sunday, so the books are scheduled to be delivered today. So once they get here to me, I'll be sending them out to the family. So if you do not have your book as of now, and you consider you be a friend of mine, just cancel that friendship. You feel me? $23 ruined the whole friendship, and I'm not even joking. So the overview, the topics of the things for which we will be talking today. Peace to the family. Thank you all for joining me. Hopefully you got some coffee, some tea, got your hood in a morning mug, got your blunt roll, got your black and mild freaked. Y'all know y'all be chasing y'all weed with tobacco. I don't, but I know y'all do. So y'all be perped out for the internet. But let's be real, man. This pandemic has hit us all hard. And PTSD is a real thing. And generally the healing and the coming out of that PTSD is the healing that takes place now. So maybe you went through the pandemic and all of this energy easy, right? But when I rode through Ohio, I rode through a real live ghost town. And I'm not talking, maybe the cities was lit, right? Litty lit. But definitely in the rural side, because I was doing a lot of mounding. On the rural side, wasn't nobody nowhere. Every place that we went to wasn't nobody there. Like, we were the only people there. And I say all of that to say that this world is really changing. And how are you changing, right? How are you changing emotionally? How are you changing spiritually? How are you getting into this alchemy energy, right? So this full moon is a portal, okay? What I mean by portal, it is a quick way to get from one place to another. When we deal with new moons, we deal with intentions. When we deal with full moons, we deal with outcomes. So when we reference this full moon, we're talking about high spiritual energy and high opportunities to enter into realms to be your best self. But Scorpio deals a lot with alchemy. You must separate those negative energies, or in tranquil spirits must be released from you, and you must, put those negative spirits on return to sender. Now, come on, black men, black women, let's be real about this stuff. Stop thinking that spirits is all good and ain't no negative spirits, and that you don't have to spiritually cleanse your energy. Stop acting like people wish the best for you. Stop acting like people really care that you're going to be successful or not, because 10 times out of 10, they could care less. And even more so, they could also wish for your downfall. So, back to the overview. This is called a blood moon. And you can look online and be like, oh, blood moon, it don't really mean like blood. But no, we're talking about, negative energy blood, like war blood moon. And spiritual war. And it ain't like it. And we, once again, black people, let's be real about this. Stop imagining that all skin folk is kinfolk, and imagining that because they're black and they're talking about spirituality that they're wholesome. No, it's a lot of negative energy out here, and I would say that a majority of it, 99% of it, is negative now, right? Because of the internet. The internet can propagate people. It can fake your numbers. It could give you more people watching your video than actually watching your video. Past forward, all of that, like, just to understand, it's very important to tap in and tune into your soul during these times, because as you tune into your soul, you get to observe these tranquil spirits and what they possibly could do if you didn't tune into your soul. Back to the overview. So the thing that makes this moon powerful is a super moon, it's a blood moon, it's a total lunar eclipse. So if you like me, like every week we do the mystic math. Shout out to CHUO FM. You can listen live right now on the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app right now, right? That's the radio station that I work for. So not only am I your baby mama's favorite astrologer, I'm your baby mama's favorite DJ. Okay, so I'm not bragging or boasting, it's just facts. But moving forward, we've been following these moon cycles. So we could generally say that during this super moon, we're going to reap the payoff, right? We've been grinding, we've been hustling, we've been stacking our fade, right? Now we're going to stunt for the summer, right? This is how we follow moon cycle. Like, so generally, what will happen after this video, you'll see a lot of videos coming in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Blood moon, full moon, lunar eclipse, wow, right? But how you just gonna hop on that bandwagon though? Like, you could literally check the library, check the catalog, and we've been following the moon cycles every week. Now, it's not the most engaging shit, but why is a super moon engaging? Right? Then you would have to ask yourself, how come people get so excited about lunar eclipses and solar eclipses, but regular new moons and full moons is just like whoop-de-doo, or a last quarter moon, what did he do? Right? First quarter moons, what did he do? But a lunar eclipse, no. To reach the top, you gotta climb every single step of the ladder, fam. Y'all niggas, I ain't never seen y'all fly or teleport yet. For the most part, to get from one step to the next step is an essential climb. And this super moon, for the people who tapped in and tuned in to the message for themselves, right? Their own moon cycle, setting their intentions, working through their intentions, getting their manifestations or not getting their manifestations, and doing waning moon work, doing the shedding work, doing the releasing work, doing the preparation work for the next new moon, setting the intention, going through your intention, nurturing your garden, seeing what the fruit comes from that, and perpetually growing shit. This is your payoff, okay? So what tends to happen though is that, you know, conscious people, they about to make a sensational event of this blood moon, of this super moon, and some shit will pop off and they'll relate it to the super moon. But I'm telling you, stop worrying about what other people are doing. Be so invested in your spiritual life, be so invested in your family, be so invested in your mysticism that the external world will be the illusion that it actually is, right? It's too many realities for you to plug in and tune into. Not only do I gotta watch the NBA, I gotta watch the NFL, MLB, gotta pay attention to what's happening in politics, gotta pay attention to what's happening in entertainment, gotta watch the shows, gotta watch the movies. No. If I can't watch all of it, then I can't watch none of it. The only thing that is important is my spirit. But spirituality is not a matter of reading blogs, nor is it a matter of watching YouTube videos. It's very of a matter of understanding of essentially who you are. So the title of this episode of Hood in the Morning is putting the my in mystic, because your mysticism is relation to your belonging to who you are essentially as an energetic being, right? Not your belongings, not your position. So let's get into the understanding of this super moon, total super moon, blood moon, total lunar eclipse. So the closer the moon is to Earth, the more intense the energy is. So the super moon has a more intense pull on the ocean. So this ocean pull is what creates the typhoons, tsunamis, hurricanes, and things of that nature. But when you deal with retrogrades, when you deal with lunar eclipse and supermoons, the reason that we reference them as astrologers is because the energy gets cray-cray, right? The energy gets super cray-cray, and if we don't understand these things from an astrological level, we'll just be like, you know, I'm gonna just break up with my baby mama, right? I'm gonna just leave because this energy cray-cray, I can't handle it. Tatalicious is knocking on my door. She texting me right now. She want me. You know, I'm ready to throw it all in. I'm about to just change it all. I'm about to change the locks on the door, right? This crazy ass energy. I can't explain it, but you would, if you understood astrology, you would then understand that you're being influenced, and thus this would make you tune more into your soul, more into your spiritual development, and not more into your habits or your vices or your PTSD or your triggered moments and what you do when you triggered. Right now I gotta leave. Now I gotta go. I gotta leave. I gotta find. It's a song. I gotta leave. That's just how it starts off. I'm gonna find it after this live, and I'm gonna bump that shit. I gotta leave. Why you want to leave so bad? Maybe it's the super moon. It's a very close moon. The moon is very close to the earth. When it's retrograde planets, retrograde essentially means that it's closer. If you can understand, like, if I'm closer to you, you can get a sense of my energy. The closer I get to you, the more you make me feel, right? Like, the closer shit get, the more energy you feel from me. So in relationships, it's a matter of closeness, right? And so your energy It orbits, it moves, it goes in and out. Society is structured in a way to move you out of that. If there was no structure such as marriage, you would never think to do it. You wouldn't. And then there are certain energies that wouldn't get anything, so they would create a system to which people who could be free, like spirits, to be subjected to a system or society. But we exhibit our truth in our relationships. That's why relationships are so important, because if you talking about people that you chatting with online and people that you talking to at work and your friends and your family, them niggas don't know the real you. Who knows the real you? Your partner, when you're intimate. This is all Scorpio energy. Alpha Centauri is a close star, meaning that it has a large influence, and that's what the moon will be conjunct. The star system Alpha Centauri in Scorpio. The sun is going to shine bright through the earth, right? Wednesday morning, 8:44 a.m. So Eastern Standard Time, we don't get to experience this. We might see it, but probably not, right? It's going to be in the middle of the night in LA. Like LA, they'll be able to see it. The sun will shine through the earth, and then that light will then pass on to the moon, right? And once this happens, this creates a different energy, right? It's a different reflection of light, and this influence is very centered on new beginnings and endings. It's the beginning of the end, right? Solar eclipse is a beginning, lunar eclipse is an ending. However, once we look at the chart, we'll be able to see how these energies are flipped. So your beginnings are endings and your endings are beginnings, and they're like simultaneously one and the same. But this is a great shift, right? So hopefully you have some money invested, right? Hopefully you have some relationship that you've been cultivating. Hopefully you have some business that you're not trying to make it get rich quick scheme, but you've been cultivating and developing relationships. And hopefully you've been working on your talent, your ability, and growing naturally, right? Doing what you do, loving what you love, and then receiving the rewards, right? Rewards from preparation. So the ending could be the end of a job and the beginning of a career, the ending of a relationship and the beginning of another relationship. But more powerfully, this is the end of a spell. This is the end of witchcraft. This is the end of sorcery, because these things work and they have cycles. But this also is the beginning of a torment cycle for the practitioners, because as a mercenary, you're only doing what you get paid to do. But you gotta have Ashe working both ways, right? You can send things off, but what if somebody sends something back to you? See, this is where you have to be with your energy. Stop thinking that people are your friend, period. Stop thinking that people like you. Imagine that everybody is jealous and they're jealous of your energy. And the people that respect and acknowledge your energy and not going to act like your energy isn't lit, right? If you don't treat me at the highest level of treaty, I'm not gonna fuck with you. Cause this is how I treat myself. I see myself as a king. I see myself as a high energy being. In any moment that I'm not treated that way, I don't feel like that's right. I wouldn't hold it against you, but why would I waste this lifetime getting treated half-ass? And then you say, well, I have issues and I have things to deal with. We all do. Nobody is special in the fact of having trauma. This is collective. I feel everybody's trauma. We are in a cesspool of trauma. We are in a sea of trauma. We are surrounded by trauma. Everybody that you know is coping and going through trauma. So we have to come up with the solution. Me personally, I feel like the work that I've done within the Chakra Nova sphere in the shadow work course that starts June 26th is the ultimate alchemy from separating your human experience from your spiritual experience and living in your spiritual experience and understanding that your human experience is the mere vehicle or vessel for your spiritual realizations and revelation. So this is the time, this is the beginning, and I'm glad to be a usher and a steward for great change throughout the planet. So I'm a rigorous my notes. So this full moon happens in the heart of Scorpio, the alpha star of Scorpio. This is the second decan of Sidereal Scorpio, which is the Six of Waters, which is the sexual energy card. If you have gotten a reading from me in the past year and a half, I've referenced this energy within your chart. You have had Sun in this area, you have had Moon in this area, Neptune, Mars, something in the second decan of Scorpio in the chart. And then generally I would say, all right, after you talk to me, talk to my wife and she'll get you together with a womb theme, because this is the time and the energy to restore and develop our womb energy. Men and women, right? That urethra game has to be clear, guys. We can't be slanging dirty urethras out here to these goddesses, right? Make sure that we have some clean urethras to slang to these goddesses, and it'll also help with your meditation and your clarity and your purpose and your manliness, your divine masculine. I'm talking about male steaming processes. I'm talking about the second decan of Scorpio, because you want to have pure sexual energy. And the thing about messing around with these scallywags and these 15 inchers on Tinder is that their energy is just not the cleanest. Now, is it? But we can be honest about it and reference our purpose and our spirituality as a modality of purity, in our sexuality as a modality of cesspoolness. Now, sex is not all that is cracked up to be when you're doing it with all types of strangers. And, just dirty. Same way as I would just not take a bath or a shower, I would be a dirty person. So when you have sex with people and you don't steam, you just dirty. It ain't like you're dirty. It's just that you're dirty. And so we want to expel the sexual energy out of our wombs, ladies, men, urethras, because this energy is ultimately what you're trying to hide from your partner. I gotta check my phone. I don't even know what I'm checking my phone for. Ain't nothing on there. Ain't nobody called me, but woo. Because I just now said that and it just now hit me. When it comes to relating to your partner, you gotta think about how you are bringing your other relationships into this relationship. You're not bringing yourself. You're bringing Tamika, Mallory, Charlemagne, the God. that was a good joke that only I got. Because Tamika Mallory is two first names, the same way as Kyrie Anthony is two first names. I do be feeling trolled. I quit. This energy, Scorpio deals with our truths. And our truths are sexual, personal, and professional. No, you're not working at the job that you're supposed to work at. No, you're not making the money that you're supposed to make. No, the friends that you have aren't on your level and they're not going to help you get to where you're trying to get to. No, your sexual life is not right and exact. You want me to go through that again? Scorpio deals with truth. These could be sexual truths, personal truths, and professional truths. Know your professional life isn't where it's supposed to be. Know your personal life isn't where it's supposed to be. Know your sexual life isn't what it's supposed to be. All of these things are supposed to transform and grow and elevate. If you've been doing missionary style for a year, you could switch it up and do doggy style. Do missionary and doggy. Right, missionary, doggy, then reverse cowgirl. Like if you're doing reverse cowgirl, like just start adding repertoire, different stuff, right? If you've been working at the same job for 5 years, start looking for something better. Because when you get into the Sagittarius energy, if you didn't make the changes, you would be doing the best thing that you did previously, and that's where you get into the energy of oppression. I'm oppressed. Why don't you leave? Huh? I didn't think about that. So another thing about being spiritual, like this is like more of like conspiracy guys and conspiracy theories and things like that. And I could be projecting, but people be looking at you, watching you, and they don't never tell you, right? Full moons and Scorpios got random weird people reaching out to you, but they've been watching to you. If a person act like they just now got on to you, hip to you, trust and believe. Full moon and Scorpio, that stalker energy, that dark energy is coming to the surface. And they gonna play it cool. But you gotta understand that these are very, when I get into the sun energy, I'll explain trickster energy and sexual energy, sexual tricks. I think niggas come through with more sexual tricks than anybody. That's our downfall. I think that is very, very important for me when I'm having relationships with other women, is to speak directly to sex. It drives my wife crazy, but I need to exercise those demons because she doesn't understand, like, as a man, I can't have sexual energy lingering around the room. I'm thinking I'm taking care of business, and it's sexual, like, I'm empathic. So I got a relationship with my wife that's very contingent on sexual purity, sexual chastity, and sexual devotion and things of that nature. And I do like to have conversations with other people other than my wife, but ultimately that could be taken the wrong way. And so these types of conversations need to be brought to the surface, or else they become to be great hindrances in our relationship. And I can't have hindrances in my relationship because we have children. And if people are emotionally distraught, not to say that they can't struggle and go through that, but it can't be a lifetime thing. I'm all good with darkness. I'm all good with shadow work, dark nights of the soul. I'm all good with entrankle spirits and all of that. I'm good with it. But at a certain time, enough is enough, and you got to switch the vibrations, because at a certain time, I'm ready to book flights to Dubai, right? I'm ready to book flights to Costa Rica. I'm ready to go to Spain. I'm ready to go to Montego Bay. I'm ready to go all over the place and act a damn fool. And negative energy would block me from that. So when you deal with a Scorpio full moon, you're like, okay, let's get this shit popping, right? What negative shit needs to happen so we could throw it into the portal, right? And let it go. So all negative experiences, all trauma lead you to your soul, right? Even in death, you would leave your body and you would then find your soul. The purpose of this conversation is not to die in order to find your soul, but to let go of the mundane bullshit so you can specifically deal with your soul as a way of life. Not to be like, well, let me meditate. I gotta meditate. Yeah, if I meditated to feel spiritual with 4 children and a wife, I would just never feel spiritual. I thus have to incorporate my spirituality into every relationship, every child, every wife. I'm just one wife, but every experience with that one wife. So mundane astrology is very important because it deals with our everyday experiences. So this talks about, like, so if you think about it from a mundane experience, you're talking about the quality of your relationship. Like Scorpio is like good pussy over pussy that I'm getting. And the reason, this is gonna sound so crazy, but it's just honesty. Like, dudes think that good pussy is new pussy, even if the pussy that they got is excellent. So don't let a man's cheating or wayward dingling be an indication that your yoni is not A1 fire hot sauce, Tabasco, Reds, Franks, and all of that. Like, because generally what tends to happen, when this is the experience that when I've cheated, not that I've cheated, not with my wife, but in life with other women. All cheating is to be like, oh shit, let me go back home because this bitch is crazy. And then you start appreciating your wife more. That sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Meaning that if I go to dinner and I sit down and you say, this the best chicken in the city, and I taste it and it's good, and every time you give it to me, you say, this the best chicken in the city, and I taste it and it's good. As a man, I gotta test you on that. I gotta see. I gotta go to KFC and churches just to see. And when I taste in the churches and I'm like, what in the steroid hormone injected mess is this? And KFC, this is biohazardous. This ain't right and exact. I'm gonna go back to my wife, and you go back to your wife and you say, baby, you right. You got the best damn chicken in the city. You right. You right. You got that, right? So any theory, any love, any truth has to be tested. The thing about me is that I've always known that my relationship was going to be tested, so I've already had the mainframe of being a winner and being valiant and victorious. However, success came hard. So what I'm referencing are the mechanics of deep truth, right? Deep truth is not to say that you will not experience turbulence within your relationship, within your profession, within your friendships and family energies. But that deep truth, that deep love would absolve all turbulence. So this is the tough part, right? This is the shakeup, right? But you also, so say for instance, because I'm not gonna lie to you, this shit can go one way or another way. This shit can go positive or this shit can get negative. You have to be okay with knowing that the best thing is going to happen after the dust gets, because you'll be like, I'm gonna shake this tree and whatever fall. But I'm gonna imagine that whatever gonna fall is going to be the rotted fruit, and whatever stays on the tree is going to be my bounty. Now, if you shake the tree and rotted fruit come off your tree, and then you're like, well, this tree is rotten. I'm a horrible planter. I'm a horrible farmer. I'm not even gonna worry about anything moving forward. Then you're gonna be messed up because the negative separates through alchemy. But because the negative separates, whatever is left is the most positive, fruitful substance. So you can move into this energy like, shit, I made it. And whatever wasn't supposed to be here just wasn't supposed to be here. I'm not about to cry over spilled milk. And then also, you think about what has led up to this emotional vibration of whatever it is amounted to. That's resulted into your habits. Now, a full moon in your pleasure is going to remove everything that is not going to bring about pleasure. So what you would see as obligation and duty and love and family and support is blocking you from pleasure. I'm gonna repeat that. What you see is duty, obligation, honor, respect, blah, blah, and blah. Blah, 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 right? It's not giving you pleasure. And when you are down here in this life, you work to establish bliss in nirvana. Because when you die, you establish bliss in nirvana. But your goal down here is to establish it before you die and teach other people how to transition from life to death. But you don't get to death and be surprised by death when you know that death is coming. You experience death now. But what is death? How do I know what death is? I'm gonna tell you what death is, what death feels like. It's that in and out, deep stroke, orgasmic, squirt, wet juices, that nasty macaroni flip-flop running in the rain shit. That's what death feels like, perpetually. Anything outside of that is wasteful energy. That made me dizzy. Oh, Lord. And let's just say that sometimes new sexual energy is not bad, because sometimes new sexual energy is necessary, and this is only when you are attached. That's a problem. But the analogy, because I was thinking that, and I said, well, that's real fucked up and insensitive, and then I got told specifically every relationship was a new relationship at some point. So the relationship that you established as long term, it was new, and it was new. Did that feel good? Yeah, that did feel good. So why would you hold that energy off? When you started that job, did it feel good when you started it? Why would you hold that energy off and just feel like everything has to be a straight line and has to be long term? What if it was your birthright and like it's like Ready Player One or like Jumanji, like you get many different lives, like you can you can start over, right? You can start over. And part of Scorpio full moons is enjoyment of new energy, because new energy is the result of alchemy. It is the result of separation. It is the result of repelling and separating from all the bullshit in your life. What is getting rid of all of the bullshit do? It allows you to see your spirit. And when you're able to see your spirit and understand that you are spirit, that you are meditation, that you are non-physical, that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, all pleasure is yours. So once again, let me get back to my notes. So the thing about the nodes, north nodes and south nodes are not planets. They are mathematical calculations that help astrologers predict the eclipses. So whenever the sun and the moon are conjunct and opposed each other, so conjunct the nodes and oppose one another in their respective nodes, we have a total eclipse. So as you look at the chart, I'll expand this for a second. I'll expand it. So if you look at the chart and you see the moon in the second decan of sidereal Scorpio oppose the sun in the second decan of sidereal Taurus conjunct the nodes in their respective decans, you can also understand why there is a lunar eclipse, because in the middle is the earth, and so the sun shines through the earth and then reflects on the moon, and we get to witness this cosmological event. But this cosmological event has an influence, and so let's talk about the influence. So the South Node represents the individual or collective past, life, shadow, subconscious, or DNA, meaning that what you're capable of, you could do great things in this life. But if you're distracted by baby mamas and baby daddies, you're not really gonna do much now, is it? You're gonna be chasing that dusty ass little boy around town, worried about... I'm gonna pause 1 second. You know what feels great? When you get over somebody, when you realize that this person don't have a hold on you any longer, right? And if you can feel like that about a person, you gotta really take it slow. Because if I can feel so compelled to chase dusty ass rusties across the street, you know, around town, wondering, you know, what they doing, what they ain't doing, and then be over it in a matter of months, then why was I running around town looking stupid in the first place? So we gotta work through that energy, because I swear y'all be so concerned about a relationship like that's not going to be a bad thing. I'm not saying that don't get into relationships, but just don't act like a relationship ain't the same equation to building a house. And I would never build a house without the proper skills, knowledge, and tools. Never. I don't care if you gave me the money, if I don't care, whatever. I'm not going to build a house if I don't know how. So when we get into the mechanics of the shadow, when we get into the mechanics of purpose, you can't have nobody in your life shitting on your dreams and your purpose. That's ridiculous. Think about how successful you would be if nobody was shitting on your dreams and your relationships. And how do people shit on your dreams? They don't support you. They don't got to tell you that they don't support you. They just don't focus on it as much as you focus on it. And you can get used to that. You could even get into the psychosis to believe that you're not even supposed to even have a purpose that's of a higher echelon. You might even not even believe me when I tell you that you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and it is your job to find out what your purpose is down here, to tap into your South Node, right? Your South Node is within you. That's why it's very important. You know, everybody that I know, they talk about my wife's themes. Like, I see people grow spiritually. Like, you know, I'm not like, it's like very patient doctor, that type deal, right? So I ain't gonna say no names. But I'm telling you, this moon conjunct Scorpio, because my wife is sidereal Scorpio, sun sign Scorpio, which the sun rules that decan. Right, the sun rules that decan and her sun is there, so her sun is exalted, meaning that she expresses womb knowledge, right? And she provides the tools and resources for the clearing of that energy, so that individuals can find who they are spiritually and begin to trailblaze and move that energy into their Sagittarian sphere. I ain't gonna say no names. But show respect when respect is due. So this moon conjunct South Node is your DNA, your shadow, your past life energy, your subconscious energetic imprint, which is great. It has some great shit for you, I'm telling you. Trips to Dubai, mansions, big booty girls, 15 inchers. I'm telling you, what it just got. I take you to the candy shop. You got to think on that level when you reference your spiritual energy personally, your womb energy. The innards, your innards, fam, are lit. Your innards are at another level. So that is the south, the north, or goodness gracious Lord, that is the south node. Sometimes node sounds like north and I say the south north. Trust me, I'm socially awkward when the lady brings the food at the restaurant. I'll be like, thank you. Like, thank you for what? Like, I don't know, I'm confused. I'm very awkward. Like, I'm supposed to be saying you're welcome. She's supposed to be saying thank you. I'm giving her money. And I'm like I don't never know what to do in social awkward situations. Beyond the point. North Node, not North, represents the individual or collective culmination or the results of you. The results of, did you recognize your DNA? Did you recognize your subconscious mind, which is 90% of your overall direction of life, your shadow, your past life energy? Or did you think your name was Shanae Johnson, born in 1958, parents of Franklin and Eleanora Johnson, and just living in rural Mississippi, eating some damn crawfish and some, hot Cheetos or whatever the case may be, and you just stuck in your human life and you're not fully invested in the reality of your spiritual life just being in your DNA, subconscious mind, shadow, past life energy. You don't think that shit even matters. You think that I need to get a booty. Need to find a booty doctor in Colombia or Florida, somebody. Give me this butt lift. And I even heard Dr. Miami, fellas, Dr. Miami is giving penis enlargers. Hey, giving us this summer, fellas, we will be getting called Zaddy, right? Thanks to Dr. Miami, right? Or you don't worry about that and you say, I'll take these however many inches that I have and just be cool with it and focus on my goals and my purposes and my higher self, right? Not do I have a higher self? I am my higher self, right? I am my DNA. I am my subconscious mind. I am my shadow. I am my past lives. I just don't fully realize it yet. However, I'm going to trust it. And then I'm going to move into this North Node energy. So this North Node energy is where I'm headed. And if you understand that where you are headed is the physical manifestation of the energetic patterns that you've already placed within yourself, then this thing becomes easy. But if you're worried about your baby daddy, I'm just worried about my baby mama, it's like, I just want a relationship. Like, but I don't know what to do with it. I've been waiting for a Prince Charming my whole life. Told you, those vibes, they come. And when they come hard. Meaning that we spend so much energy on things outside of ourselves that the simple question of who we are, we can't even fully answer. But the next time somebody asks you who you are, be sure to tell them that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. I'm just worried about my baby daddy. Baby mama. Yes. So the second decan of Scorpio is ruled by the sun. The second decan of Taurus is ruled by the moon. So the moon is in the sun energy, so it's debilitated. The sun is in the moon energy, so it is debilitated. The lunar eclipse is an opposition, so this is stress. So debilitated, oppositional, thus gives you no solution but the soul. Complete submission, complete lack of ego, right? I don't know shit. I'm so scared right now. I can't tell left from right. Even though I understand the spiritual shit, I didn't think that. I underestimated the spiritual energy. I underestimated Legua. I underestimated the trickster energy. And now I'm like, okay, I got to take full responsibility for everything, and really tune in and tap into who I am as a pattern being. And so as a pattern being is different from people saying, Hood Mystic, thank you. Hood Mystic, I love you. Hood Mystic, that was great. Hood Mystic, you're my friend. And then I know my patterns are shit, meaning that I'm not going to the gym. I'm drinking coffee every day, you know. I'm just doing all weird shit. The weird shit for me is that I didn't work out. Like, y'all don't even realize that I used to be buff. Completely, like I'm getting my strength back. But like getting my strength back is crazy because I can't even remember being this strong. Like I don't work off and on, but like me now, I'm just like being committed to it to the point that like I'm gonna be diesel as fuck like real soon. Not even real soon. I can't even say this is gonna take me a while to get like built, but trust me, like I'm not. I am like I'm a monster in the gym. Like people who know me like before I ever like was like into the spiritual shit. I was more into like pumping iron and lifting weights and shit. That was who I was like. That's who I was. So this fat shit, I don't even realize even like it's crazy. Like I feel like I was under like a spell, like a fat spell. And now like this energy is kind of just like working its way out, and it's just like, all right, I'm back to the gym because like going back to the gym is like 2 hours out my day, and it's like could have been working out. Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck, bro? Like, but it's like 2 hours. Like you couldn't give yourself 2 hours. Like you was never that busy that you couldn't give yourself 2 hours to work out. But I'm telling you, it's like I always knew I was gonna get back in the gym. I just was like putting shit off, and then I put my work before my body. But now I'm like, okay, I was watching some video and I heard somebody say he was on some get rich shit, and he was just like, you can't immerse yourself in your work. You have to wake up, work out, then go to work, because the work's always going to be there. but your body, like say for instance, you know what I'm saying, you just get some diabetes or some shit like that, just like, and the funny part is that I don't even really be eating, like I don't eat meat or no shit like that. I only eat once a day, but I just need to work out. So for me, that is Sun and Taurus, and like looking at my patterns and saying, fuck how y'all feel about me. It's about how I feel about myself. And I know for a fact that I gotta hit the fucking gym, right? I know that I have to. I know that that's who I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that that's part of my self-identification, you know, being all muscly and shit. And like, the reason that I'm not as, like, I never said this, but I'm gonna say it. The reason that I'm not like, where like people be like, oh, let's hang out. I'm like, I'm not about to hang out with you. Like, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. So it's just like, with all of that being said, I know a lot of people might not even say that shit, might not even come to that realization, not be strong enough to say that, because, you know, it's about what people feel about them that they're trying to hold up. But for me, I could care less what y'all feel about me, because I know for a fact that when I was in my athletic prime, when I was fully engaged in my strength, I felt good about me, and I didn't ever really even care about what other people felt, right? And I need to get back to that. So this trickster energy in relation to this full moon lunar eclipse is the end of a lot of bullshit cycles that you've been in for the past 10 years, right? Think about where you were 10 years ago before, and then imagine that this is probably a solar eclipse that created this gateway. And trust me, it could be other shit going on that you're not even paying attention to. That's just all good. You get married, you falling in love, you doing all of this type of stuff, but you knew, like, when you was younger and growing up, that you had promise, and that this 2010 energy, 2011 energy, things have been really fucked up, and you've been coping with things being so fucked up, and you're not even realizing that you've put yourself on the back burner, and you put everything else in front of you. That so now that this lunar eclipse, these energies are debilitated and flipped, that you don't have these things. You don't have, like, I got money in the bank, but that's not going to be enough for me to satisfy the fact that I need to hit the gym. But in my mind, I was thinking that if I had money in the bank, I would absolve myself from feeling like I would just feel great. But I didn't feel great having money in the bank. Meaning that if I didn't have money in the bank, but I felt great about myself and I felt great about my body, I probably would feel like, fuck it, you know? I probably wouldn't even need to feel like I need money if I felt great about myself. So these are all things that are being presented with this trickster energy. Thank you, Multiple Paths. I really do appreciate that donation. So, once again, we don't have anyone to blame except our patterns for how we treat ourselves, which can ruin our relationships, professional and personal. And you have to think about the success within your relationships, the success in your business, the success overall for how you feel with, like, interactions with people. You're the common denominator. So what are you going to do about these things? Are you going to be the person that put yourself first and do the inner work? Even, like, you know, I got a wife, I got kids, so I can't just be like, all right, I'm to move, you know, and go somewhere far away and find myself. I have to figure out the time and spaces to, one, find myself, and the same time continue to grow as a man. So these are difficult times, and also sobering times, because you're not blaming anybody. You're taking full responsibility for yourselves. How did the times that you kind of like lie to yourself and put yourself in negative positions based upon your ignorance of your spiritual life. But now that you know your spiritual life, it's time to tap into Anuradha. So the sidereal lunar eclipse, which takes place May 26, 2021, takes place in the sign of sidereal Scorpio in the lunar mansion of Anuradha. Anuradha is the moon of friendship, the moon of success. Its ruling energy is Saturn, and its ruling deity is Indra or Mithras. Its purpose is Dharma. Dharma means you are doing exactly what you're supposed to do in life and you're not worried about anything else. This, for me, is my body. For you, it might be something else where you're neglecting something. So you would then have to look at your chart or just be honest with yourself. What have I been neglecting? What have I been neglecting on my spiritual development, personal development, or professional development? What patterns am I going to now take wholeheartedly so I can honor my DNA, honor my subconscious mind, honor my shadow, honor my purpose, and not put it off on, oh, I'm so busy, I gotta work, so I'm not gonna work out. Oh, I'm so busy with the kids, so I can't go to the gym. I can't even blame COVID because I wasn't even working out before. I'm not blaming COVID. If you were honest about 2010, 2011 to now, you would say, God damn, this has been some crazy ass shit, and I'm not really okay, and I haven't been really honoring myself and treating myself the best way that I can. And so now I feel restored. I feel like these hexes and these intranquil spirits are returned to sender. That would be my mantra. That is going to be my mantra throughout the day, throughout the week. Return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. I don't want that energy. I don't want that spirit. I don't want that negativity. It's not becoming of me. You know what you want. You know what you deserve. You know the life that you should be standing in. And you know what you need to do to get there at a personal level, at a professional level, at a sexual level. What is your responsibility spiritually? How do you become spiritually accountable? By doing the things. This integrity. So what is integrity? Integrity is that I'm going to do the things that I'm supposed to do even if you're not watching me. So when you're in a relationship, you wouldn't be on Tinder messing with, like, so when people say, well, I'm single, so I'm going to act single. Well, do you want to stay single? No, I want to get into a relationship. Well, integrity is being the woman that you would be in the relationship without the relationship. And there is no guarantees. Integrity is not a guarantee. It is a way of life that you acknowledge and accept and respect about yourself. I'm not going to switch up once I get with a chick, because then I'm going to be a fake ass dude. And how long am I going to be a fake ass dude for? Not for so long. It's going to run out. And that's when you get, Sam and Man is cheating on me again. So the key themes of this nakshatra is to, one, if maybe you haven't seen your revelation just now, you don't understand the negative spirits that have been invading you for these past couple of years, and you don't understand return to sender and the things that I'm referencing because everything is going so sweet for you, that's fine. But ultimately, be patient and allow things that was under the surface to rise to the top. And once these things rise to the top, you then discover how you plan to move forward and understanding that this is a new cycle. Once again, this energy is related to all of the issues that you've experienced over the last 10 years that you thought were going to last forever. Okay? You thought these things were going to last forever, but come to find out they didn't, because you were patient. It's also a blessing when you thought determined and pain was going to last forever, right? You thought that it was going to last forever, but it's a blessing, right? And the issue was when you thought like the relationship was going to last forever or the job was going to last forever, and it doesn't work out. But then on the positive side, you can have torment and pain that you think is gonna last forever and it don't work out. So let's think about this. Let's get into a level of fairness and a level of balance, and understanding that if you experience pain, you would want them to end, right? If you was to experience in tranquil spirits, you would want them to end, right? If you was experiencing negativity, you would want it to end. You would pray for it to end, right? So the same thing happens when you're in a positive relationship. No, you can't have it both ways, ladies. I'm sorry. Fellas, you can't have it both ways. You can't want to end your jail sentence, but then want to keep your relationship forever. Life don't work like that. All things end. All cycles end. And how we deal with these ending of cycles, right? Because it's always a spiritual influence, first of all. And as a couple, you recognize the spiritual influence and you dead that spiritual influence and you bond at a different level. But most couples don't realize the spiritual influence and they end up hating each other. So you can't have it both ways. Listen, pain can't last forever, and so good things can't last forever either, because you gotta have balance. So why you must be positive is because all of the people, good and bad, helped you to find your soul, right? All of these people helped you find your soul, so you can really look at it differently going into this lunar eclipse. Because it was the ignorance, right, that made you think that it was going to last forever. And it was the ignorance that made you think it was going to last forever. But the balance in the gnosis is that all things must end. Because I wouldn't want you to struggle forever. You don't want your mama to struggle forever. You don't want your brother to struggle forever. You want that pain to end for him, right? So you can't then imagine that your positive energies are going to last forever too. Because it might be a point where you and your partner need to separate and give the love that you've learned and grown and developed to other people. If it's good. The best chicken in the world, right? How many times you been eating your wife food and say, baby, you should open up a restaurant. More people need to eat this chicken. If the food wasn't good, you wouldn't have said that. And I'm getting into real deep territories right now, so I'm gonna wade my slick ass back to the top of the water and not go no deeper. No deeper. So to end this, thank those who helped you find your soul, positive and negative, and let them go. Let them go. So this weekend, we was in Ohio And I did a live, and my live was cut off on Instagram. And I said something that I didn't ever even think that I was going to say, and I was just talking, you know, just referencing, rambling, rat-a-tat-tatting. And I was saying, when you say my body, why do you say my body? Why do you say my arm, my leg, my heart, my chest, my neck and my back, my neck, my back? Thank you, bro. Who is my? What is mine? Thank you, Lone Star. What is this elusive my? Like, have anybody ever seen my before? Have anybody ever drew a picture of my? Like, what? Why is it always my leg, my foot, my baby daddy, my baby mama, my kids, my house, my car? Why does my get to have all of this shit? What about you? Who and who is my? Is it so? If you were saying that was your possession, the same way as I'm saying, like, if I possess something, is that I have it. So I don't think that we have the word for it. But if we were to say it specifically, we would say I'm hand, I'm arm, I'm neck, I'm leg, I'm back, I'm booty. I'm booty. And it's like, well, that, no, you're not. That is something that you have. It's like, oh, damn. I'm trying to think, how do I get and separate from my or I or these concepts that we just say so freely, so willingly. We just toss these words around so easily. And I couldn't for the life of me reference to who the fuck people are referencing to when they say my. Like, who is my? So I'm trying to think, like, I looked up the etymology. My, bro. What is the etymology to my? And the definition was belonging to me. And I start to think, what actually belongs to me that can't be taken from me? And if it could be taken from me, how could it actually be me or belong to me? How could I possess something that could be taken away? You could snatch my whole arm off right now if you were strong enough or mad enough. Rah! Just tuck my arm off. Eat my arm like a damn chicken bone. That ain't my arm. If you could take it. These are temporary, transitory expressions. The actual possessor is in your meditation. But your meditation ain't no Namrang Rongang Q shit. It ain't no woke shit. It is in your effervescent expression when somebody asks you who you are. I'm the non-physical, spiritual voice that echoes out of the chambers in the deep tombs of my soul. What you are hearing is a reverberation, a reflection of who I am. But this voice is so powerful because it could think, it could move, it could possess, it could orchestrate, it could instruct, it could teach, it could heal, it could guide, it could love. This voice has done a lot of things for me. This voice is who I am. The voice sits on its throne in the solar plexus and shines and emits lights daily. You realize that you are a spiritual entity found within your voice, found within your words. You might not ever want to stop healing through speaking. You might not ever want to stop healing through touching and loving and understanding that your expression is a very pure, spiritual soul-like entity, graceful, free flowing, nothing and everything, that which inhibits and inhabits your body. But once your body transpires, your freedom will be in that transitory space that it usually finds itself at for a majority of its life. These moments that it inhabits the body are the small, minute infractions that it gets to make love, that it gets to get to a closer expression of its true feeling in the one and only time that it fully knows who it is during sexual activity. So this is the alchemy of Scorpio. This is the alchemy of the womb. This is the separation between the emotional understanding, which allows the true peace to flood the walls of your home. Y'all nasty. Y'all are so nasty. But understanding that this knowledge, it doesn't allow you to, poke your chest out, throw in a crown, seek a throne for you to get escorted around. You might be a toilet bowl cleaner. You might be a manager at Foot Locker. You might be a truck driver. You might be a professional weightlifter. Whatever you're doing, understand that that's a result of patterns. But the new pattern is now being inset within you to tune into your spirit and allow for the changes to take place. But stop possessing everything that, your spirit is never going to possess anything. Your spirit doesn't even have hands. Your spirit don't want anything. It's a vibration, it's a frequency, it's an elevation. And you might ask me, well, what do I see on the other side? And I say, I don't know. We're gonna see it together. One plus one equals 3, family. Always remember that. You can be with a positive energy and create something, or you can be with a negative energy and be left worse off than you began. Oh man. Please. This is my panhandling section of the video. If you enjoyed this content, please support your boy by buying a book. And if you already bought a book, buy another book for your family. No, don't buy a book for your family because they might not be ready for it. I've been getting some crazy stories. I heard a crazy story. Somebody bought a book for somebody and they was not ready for it. So there's other stuff on the site besides Chakra Nova too. Mama Mystic holding it down with the wombs themes. And that's Colombian Exchange. X with an X. It was so crazy doing this mound stuff, and we was watching this documentary on the road, just driving, and they were just talking about how the mounds were an essential part to the Colombian Exchange. And they kept, like, my wife, if she's on here, they said like the Colombian Exchange like 28 times. I'm like, yo, it was just a crazy coincidence, but no coincidences in this spiritual journey. And I was looking for something, and I think I'm gonna just let it go. Or no, I know, well, I do want to show it to you guys. I do want to talk about it because I'm promoting. And if don't nobody show up to the class and I do the class and ain't nobody showed up, I'm gonna really feel some type of way. But I couldn't never be mad at y'all if I ain't never tell nobody about it. And of course, The course is $23. So meaning that I'm not trying to break your pockets at all. And it's the 26th, so you got more than enough time to sign up. But I will tell you about it if I can find a dang on picture. Got so many dang on pictures on here. Somebody clean out my computer. That's another point. That's some more alchemy that I need to do with these damn computers. Trying to take these pictures and it's like, yo, computer, your phone full, and I'm just like, oh Lord, my whole life needs alchemy. So, Alchemic Academic presents Shadow Work, which takes place June 26, 2021 at 11:11 a.m. We gonna do that class in the daytime, because if I did that class at the dark time, it for sure would scare people. If you don't want to be embarrassed, if you don't want to be ashamed, if you don't want to look at your negative emotions and experiences, please do not sign up for the course, because you will have to look at all of the funky dunky shit you've been doing and absolve yourself from it. I haven't done it, so don't expect me to do some mumbo jumbo rigmarole for you not to face yourself. No, if you are ready to face yourself, this is a class that you need to take. Today I'm going to shoot a commercial for the class, and I'm gonna continue to promote the class and push the class. If you know me and love me, tell somebody about the class who may need shadow work. If it's a person in your life who is constantly telling you about the shit that they do and they making it seem like you're the one that's doing it, tell them to sign up for the course. You sign up for the course at alchemicacademic.com. That's about as much promotion as I can do in one sitting. So thank you to the family. Thank you to the guys, Prime Harmonic, Sacred Serpent, Mama Mystic in the building, Ross Ben, Free Your Mind, and your mind will follow. Shout out to Ross Ben. We got something super special. Since we're here, I think I could do this. Then I'll end the video. But I do want y'all to see what I've been working on. And these from now until Wednesday, I'm gonna finish working on this. But what you been working on, Hood? I'm about to show you right now. Hold on. Cut the music off. I need y'all to get the full. Here we go. She smart, thick and pretty, good and sedity. Her mama fucking with me. We the baddest in the city. I'm grimy and I'm gritty, but when I'm with you, I'm shining like a penny. I feel brand new. I hope you do too. Took her to Benihana. She turned head like she Madonna. She can't sing, it's her persona. Man, everybody wanna. Your girl gave my girl a number. Wanna have a party like slumber. If she need wood, I'm a lumber. If she got a leak, I'm a plumber. We hotter than the summer. We got money if you talking numbers. She wearing a dress, and I'm looking under. Oh yeah, so this Wednesday, be patient, but it's definitely coming. I'm working on a mound presentation, my first mound presentation. So shout out to Ross Ben for the opportunity, and this definitely going to be for people all out throughout the country who live around mounds that possibly want to deal with mounds. I talk about mounds a lot, but I never get into the mechanics and the minutia of what we do and how we do it. So I'm going to work with Ross Ben, his book. I don't have his book around, huh? So what I did was I took his book, Free Your Mind, and Free Your Mind and Your Mind Will Follow, and he has a section in this book where he talks about how to get into these energies. And so I just took his book and went to the sites around Columbus, my stomping grounds, and just went through his formula. And so this whole conversation, this whole conversation was in result to the spiritual journey that I went on this weekend with my family and the channels and things of that nature. And what I'm going to do now is just organize it and make it tangible and more instructional so people can kind of like grasp it. It's hard to do, but very simple when you combine all of the different little, what do they call, recipes, right? Little ingredients, putting all the ingredients in, you get this wonderful spiritual cake. So with that being said, y'all enjoy all of the cake that y'all getting during this full moon energy in Scorpio, the sign of sexual energy. Let mama have them. Peace.